Are you terrified of the phone? No, seriously. Be honest. You have that list of leads or old clients you know you need to call to follow up, but you just don't? You stare at the phone, you get a sudden urge to clean your entire kitchen instead, and you tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes. I've been there. I'm pretty sure my phone anxiety has cost me thousands of dollars in lost deals. But imagine if you had someone, or something, that could make those calls for you. Not a robotic 1990s press one for more options thing, but a voice that actually sounds like, well, a person. A person who doesn't get tired, doesn't need coffee breaks, and doesn't cry in the bathroom when a prospect hangs up on them. I think I found the solution. I've been testing this new lifetime deal on AppSumo called Awaz, and it claims it can clone your best sales rep, or just be the sales rep you can't afford to hire. If you want to automate your outreach without selling a kidney to pay for it, check the AppSumo link in the description right now while I break this down. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room. We live in a world where everyone wants to text, but the money is still made on the phone. The problem is hiring a human sales rep? It's expensive. You're talking salaries, commissions, training, and then they quit 3 months later. So, the alternative has been these big AI tools. You've probably heard of AI or Bland AI. They are incredible, don't get me wrong. But have you seen the pricing? Some of these platforms charge hundreds of dollars a month just for access to the software. That is subscription fatigue at its finest. For a small business owner like me, or even a freelancer trying to book meetings, I can't justify a massive monthly retainer for a tool I might only use a few times a week. We need something that's smart enough to handle a conversation, book a meeting on our Google Calendar, and send a follow-up text, but doesn't bleed our bank account dry every 30 days. That is exactly where Awaz steps in. So, I grabbed the Tier 1 license just to see if this thing was legit or if it was going to sound like a robot from a bad sci-fi movie. I logged into the dashboard, which is surprisingly clean by the way, and went straight to the Create Agent button. First, I had to give it a brain, mouse click sound. You can literally upload documents, URLs, or just paste text to train it. I pasted in my standard FAQ page and a little script about my web design services. Then came the voice selection. They have this integration with 11 Labs, which is basically the gold standard for AI voices right now. I picked a voice. Let's call him Casual Steve. I set Casual Steve up to handle inbound calls first. I routed a test number to him. I called the number. Steve picked up and said, "Hey, thanks for calling. How can I help you today?" I threw a curveball. I asked, "Yeah, I'm looking for pricing, but I'm on a tight budget." And get this, he didn't glitch out. He actually paused for a split second, like a human thinking, and said, "I totally get that. We have a few packages. What's your range looking like?" I honestly got goosebumps. It was kind of spooky, but in a good way. After the call, I checked the dashboard. The transcript was there instantly. It had analyzed my sentiment. It knew I was hesitant, but interested. And because I set up the integration, it could have booked a slot on my calendar right then and there. Okay, so it talks pretty, but does it work in the real world? Integration-wise, it's actually pretty stacked for a new tool. It connects with Google Calendar, which is non-negotiable for me. If it can't book the meeting, what's the point, right? It also hooks up to Zapier and supports webhooks. So, if you're a nerd like me and you want it to update your CRM, like Salesforce or HubSpot, after a call, you can set that up. One thing I really liked, it's not just calls. You can set the agent to send an SMS or a WhatsApp message immediately after the call. So if the user says, "Send me the portfolio," the AI can trigger that text instantly. That speed is something a human just can't match. Now, a quick note on the setup. You do need to connect your own telephony provider if you want full control, like Twilio or Telnix. If you've never done that, it can be a little intimidating. It's not exactly plug and play if you're totally tech illiterate. I mean, I managed to do it in about 20 minutes, but I did have to Google how to find Twilio API key. Just a heads up. All right, let's get real. I'm not here to sell you a dream. Here are the pros and the cons. The pros. The lifetime deal. You pay $49 once on AppSumo. Compare that to the monthly fees of the competitors. It's a steal just to have the technology in your pocket. Multilingual support. It supports over 30 languages. If you have clients in Brazil, France, or wherever, this is huge. 24/7 availability, it never sleeps. If a lead calls at 3 a.m., Awaz answers. The cons, the usage. Cost. Okay, pay attention here. This is important. While you own the access for life, there is a per-minute cost for the AI processing. On Tier 1, it's roughly 40 cents per minute. That is, honestly, kind of high. If you jump to Tier 4, it drops to 20 cents. So it's not free calls forever, You are paying for the brain power. Latency. It's fast, but every once in a while, there's that awkward 2-second pause where you can tell it's thinking. It's getting better every day, but it's not 100% human perfect yet. Setup curve. Like I mentioned, dealing with Twilio or API keys might scare off some people who just want a magic button. So, what's the final verdict? If you are a massive call center making 10,000 calls a day, the per-minute cost on this might be too high for you. You might need an enterprise contract elsewhere. But if you are a solopreneur, a real estate agent, or a small agency owner who just needs to handle inbound leads or do some light reactivation campaigns without hiring a human, this is absolute gold. For $49, you are getting an employee that works 24/7. Even with the per-minute cost, you'd have to make thousands of calls before you even touch the cost of hiring a real person for 1 month. It's risky to rely on it 100%, but as a backup or a first line of defense, it's a no-brainer. Plus, AppSumo has that 60-day money-back guarantee. So, you can buy it, set up a prank call to your friend, a test call, and if you don't like it, get a refund. I'm keeping my code. Casual Steve is part of the team now. If you want to check it out, please grab the deal through my link in the show notes. It helps support the pod and keeps me supplied with enough coffee to figure out these API keys. Go automate those calls, everyone. I'll talk to you, or maybe my AI will talk to you, in the next one.